Hey y'all, what's up to everybody out there? Welcome back to the Round Table Talk. I am your host C Money, and we are back here in the Wynwood area. We just left out of Wynwood Walls through the Wynwood Walls shop area, which is right there, and we are back here on 2nd Avenue. We are off of 2nd Avenue and 25th Street back in Wynwood. Now, to continue our tour of Wynwood, there is a Foot Locker right there. That's one of the stores here. Now this area looks like it is probably a food truck area where a lot of food trucks come and park their trucks here, and the black part is probably where the pedestrians walk at and walk in and things like that, to where they can sit down over here. Like I see a food truck that looks like a food truck, or it's a building right there that sits where a lot of people can come and eat, because I know food trucks are now the new thing of today. Now people are now more into food trucks than into actual restaurants. So there's a Foot Locker, there's a Tacoology, which is basically I think it's a local taco restaurant, if not a chained restaurant. And we're going to continue north, and then we're going to turn around and continue south, because we're coming up to 29th Street, which is basically the ending of Wynwood and things like that. A lot of the places you're going to find here, you're going to find a lot of art, and you're going to find a lot of restaurants. And a lot of these restaurants do intake a lot of art and decorations in their restaurants, And you're also going to find shops too. You're going to find shops to go shopping. Now, here, you're not going to find any cheap shops where you're going to come out and be like, well, yeah, I can go find something for a couple of dollars, and I can go, eat or shop for $20 and stuff. You're going to find, yes, you also going to find a lot of consignment and a lot of thrift shops in the area. Now, I remember seeing this actually online. We're going to go to take a detour here, because this is one of the spots that I've actually seen a promotion for online, and I didn't know where exactly it was at. But this is another place where if you want to bring your kids out somewhere and you want to enjoy, having some fun and family fun, you can take them here. I can tell you right now, 22nd Avenue is one of the most busy streets in Wynwood. So if you do come to Wynwood and you're coming down 2nd Avenue, do plan on being in high traffic. And it is a weekday, middle of the week. So basically, this is pottery. If you don't know what pottery is, it's basically a mini golf, inside mini golf eatery and restaurant, where they have where you can eat and you can play mini golf and things of that nature. We're gonna go back to this area. We're gonna check out a lot of the areas, and we're gonna see what is what, because also at the second time we're going to continue going south, and we're going to continue north, and then we're going to backtrack and continue south. Now, there isn't a shopping mall here, but there are shops here, meaning that roughly it will probably take you maybe an hour, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less to walk it, because remember, Wynwood stretches from 20th Street to 29th Street, but it has adjacent shops and stuff in the area. You have North Miami Avenue, you have First Avenue, and stuff like that, to where it stretches to where, you're like, hey, this stretches a lot of area. So, and you got a lot of cafes here. And that's the biggest thing now. A lot of people are intaking is cafes, and a lot of cafes are just not cafes anymore. They're cafes, back in the day, cafes used to be them places where you go and get you a nice cup of coffee or a latte. You get you a nice cheese Danish or the scone, or that's called the collectors club. Well, I guess that's where you collect, like they have collectors cards and stuff like that. Where you get a lot of, you go to a cafe and they probably have where you get certain things. This is the backside on the other side of coming from Pottery. Now, okay, we are here now on 29th Street and 2nd Avenue. Now, when you cross over 29th Street in certain areas, you cross over to, and in certain, like this area will be called the Miami Design District. Basically, the Miami Design District is basically a fashion district where they sell clothing, furniture, high-end accessories and stuff like that. It's mainly, a design district where if you live in an upscale house on South Beach, you come here to find the designs for your house, like, a sofa or a love seat or anything of that nature and things like that. And also, you come out and, you buy some high-end clothes. That'll probably cost you $200 an outfit or something like that. This is right here. This is called the Wynwood trolley, which is a trolley that, circulates the Wynwood area. And also, and on the east, from 29th Street, from 2nd Avenue all the way to I-95 Express. If you are on, which is on the western side of Wynwood, when you're going north, you are in the fashion district, meaning there's a lot of clothing stores, fashion stores, a lot of wholesale stores and things like that. If you're on the eastern side of it, you're coming into an area called Midtown, which is what I'll be going to, and once I finish this, because they have one of my favorite restaurants there, and we'll probably do an episode as well there too. If not, we're gonna go and do an episode another day as well. We're gonna turn around and come back to the area here of Wynwood. Now, like I said, as you can see here, this is on a weekday afternoon, and traffic here is crazy. Now, when they have Art Basel, which is a art event that happens around late November, early December every year, this is one of the most hottest spots to be at, because a lot of artistry brings their art here. And some of the art, I don't know if you ever heard that there was an artist that had a big time $1 million art sculpture. It wasn't $1 million, but it cost a lot of money, and it got broken. Somebody broke it, and it was like taking up a lot of, it was all over social media, and it was like, what? And it got to the point. But yeah, this area throughout, this is actually one of the hottest tourist attraction areas. If you're here, you go to 3 areas. You go to you're either in South Beach, you're in downtown Miami / Brickell area, or you're hanging out in Wynwood. Yeah, you have other spots like Aventura Mall and Dolphin Mall and other areas, but those are the main 3 spots that you will come up on when you come in here to Miami, and that is pretty much where people come out. And here, as you can see, it's kind of cool because it looks like it's about to rain, and that's why, and one of the reasons I came out here earlier, like late in the afternoon, because I wanted to get to where it wasn't too hot and I can explore the area without getting, without being having to buy water 3 or 4 times of hydration system. Go ahead. I wouldn't have to buy. Now, I did say that the Museum of Graffiti is in the area, and I don't remember exactly where, but I will figure out. I mean, we're gonna do another episode where we're gonna recap on Wynwood, because basically, if you walk the entire Wynwood area, because not only do they have shops and restaurants, they also have living apartments and condominiums where people can actually, you know, step outside their balcony and they can see all of the nightlife here. And then we're back here at Wynwood Walls, which is here, and we're back, you know, Wynwood Walls, 38 murals, 7 sculptures, 3 galleries, 1 subway car, and this is where you come in and enter it here. And I started my journey here on 20th Street, and I ended up coming up, and then I was like, whoa, we were probably going to do maybe a 2 to 3 part episode, because I knew Wynwood Walls was going to take one of my, this is called Coco, which looks like a delivery cart. I've seen some of them. I've seen the other ones that they have downtown, and this is like a food delivery cart where the restaurants put their food in the cart. The customers come, and then they, I believe, either scan the QR code or, you know, put in a passcode, and they retrieve their food order from out of the cart. Now, here was another place called Society Wynwood. This is probably the name of the apartment complex here, which is nice and also interesting. And we're gonna go further down. Now, like I said, you do have areas also. 2nd Avenue, you have also 1st Avenue, you have North Miami Avenue. You know, there are a lot of other restaurants here that's not just on 2nd Avenue, but 2nd Avenue is the main street that people walk on, because it's the main area of Wynwood. You know, you have Pollo Taco, you know, you have a lot of these. You have local chained restaurants and national, you know, chained restaurants that are here too. One of my favorite restaurants that was here is no longer here. They're here, but they used to be in Wynwood because they was at the head of Wynwood, but they moved their location and they're on the outskirts of Wynwood. And there was a place called House of Mac, which we're probably gonna show you the location, because with that location, I ended up loving it. If you never know what House of Mac is, we're probably gonna do a food review later on down the line. We're gonna talk about this. This used to be a crystal store, a store where you buy like little crystals and stuff like that, things like that. I remember I went in there with my artistry friend, and now it looks different. It looks like a book bag type art bag store, things like that. And now back to now you see, this is a trolley stop sign where you can stop and get on the trolley, and it has been covered in a lot of advertisements and things like that. And this is what they considered art. You may consider it vandalism or graffiti, but this is what they considered art and things like that. This is called the Wynwood Marketplace. And of course, you have a lot of tourists that visit the area. Back to what I was saying. Yes, House of Mac is a place that specializes in different types of macaroni and cheese, where you have Philly steak macaroni and cheese. You have some. We are going to do a food review on them later on down the line. We could have did one if they were still here. They moved their location outside. They had several locations. They had one here in Wynwood. Then they had another location Their second location was at the Bright Line station near downtown Miami. They had one there, which they closed, and they had one in North Miami, which closed as well. And they had another location in Orlando, and all of the locations did get shut down. This is called Wynwood Tribe, a clothing store. A lot of the locations got closed down. Now we're gonna cross the street because we're gonna go to take another detour, because as you know, I did say there was Pottery. Pottery is a mini golf place in Wynwood where you can play mini golf with your family, and you can also enjoy nice, interesting food choices. Because you go to a lot of mini golf, they're mostly at a lot of fun centers where you're enjoying like the regular cheeseburgers, hot dogs, and pizzas and stuff like that. There you can actually enjoy fine dining without a lot of cost. It's probably going to cost you about the same as you would at another restaurant. You're not going to pay $50 for a plate of food. You'll probably pay like $20 for a plate of food, but you're going to get decent portions. Now we're on one of the back streets, which is Northwest First Court here in the Wynwood area, and here I'm getting a little mist in my face, and that's because I'm here by a construction plant. Now over here, this is another interesting fun place. Now while the parents are out shopping and enjoying the nightlife and shopping, the kids here can enjoy having some fun here at, I'm gonna try to get close. We're gonna cross the street. This is kind of a bumpy road here, so be careful here. This is First Court. Fun Dimension. Now I had the pleasure of visiting Fun Dimension about a few years back. I mean, it was during COVID, of course, and I visited twice in my lifetime. And the first time I did it, I visited with my mom because I wanted to check out the new concept that they have here. And then I visited the second time with a friend of mine. And with that and said, I ended up thinking, it's another family fun center. It's something similar to like Boomers or Dave and Buster's. Only thing is, like, I could see they actually revamped it to where the outside was different. Remember, I haven't been down here in years, and the outside is different. Where they look like they have outside seating and they have other areas. Now, and there, they do have no arcade. They do have a lot of things for kids to do, and as well as adults, because it's supposed to be a family fun center. This is a parking area. This was not always a parking area. That was actually a part of Fun Dimension, but eventually it got turned into a parking area because, as you can see here in Wynwood, the parking is very limited. It's very limited. If you're parking on 2nd Avenue, you must know that you're paying for parking or they have a time limit. Now this is called the Original Gangsters, which is an art mural. Now they have a lot of these murals throughout Wynwood. It's just, if you take the time to walk around Wynwood and adjacent areas, you will see a lot of these murals or these artistry paintings, because they're all over Wynwood. They're not just on 2nd Avenue. They're not just in one spot. They're in a lot of areas. So if you want to intake a lot of these artistry things, you can intake it. You can go shopping in Midtown as well, which is north of Wynwood, which is the next area or neighborhood out of Wynwood, and you can also shop in certain things. But yeah, this is what Wynwood is. Like I said, if you walk the full entire Wynwood, it would take you close to an hour, especially if you're going inside of Wynwood Walls as well. One day I'm going to take my mom inside Wynwood Walls and I'm going to show her that, because I know she likes to look at things and stuff like that. She's not a fan of art, but you know, just to come out and just to see things. We are here. Now this location here is where House of Mac used to be. This is now called, this is Fluffy, I don't know what that is. This is called Mr. Chopper Sir de los Tacos. So this is where House of Mac was. And when I first went to House of Mac, it was just a small restaurant. Then they expanded the building, I guess. They expanded. This is a little store. And you see, as you can see, you can't see inside the store because it's basically graffitied out. And, you know, it's, you know, you can come out and shop here and things like that. So we are now back here on 20th Street, the beginning of Wynwood. Now, as I said earlier in the video, Wynwood stretches from 20th Street all the way to 29th Street in Miami. Now, across from 20th Street going south, you're going to be into Overtown, which is the area that, you know, where we're at. And little bit of an piece of information. I stayed in Overtown for about 2 years of my life. That's when I had my own place, and it was not a good experience, and that's why I ended up coming out of that way, even though Overtown has changed over the years. But this is Overtown, and this is basically it. So this is it. We're gonna wrap it up. We are 20 plus minutes into the show, so technically we are, my walking, I did close to 20 minutes or so, over 20 minutes. But as a human being, if you do visit Wynwood, trust me, you will take more than 20 minutes, especially if you are a person that likes to go into each store and shop in a lot of these stores. You would take more than 20 minutes to shop in Wynwood. So just know that for a fact. It will take you more than 20 minutes. You know, because just as Wynwood, just inside of Wynwood Walls, it was about 20 minutes we did an episode. It was close to 20 minutes. And the whole experience would have took us more than 20 minutes, because by me purchasing my ticket there and, you know, inside the welcoming center and all that, it would have took over 20 minutes, probably close to 30 minutes. But it only took me, you know, not long. So this is it. We are now walking down 20th Street. I'm gonna jump on the trolley because I'm gonna go get something to eat now, from one of my favorite restaurants that is in Wynwood, not in Wynwood, that is in Midtown, and I'll be heading home. So I want to thank y'all for watching this episode. We are now in the Overtown area, or the adjacent Overtown. So I want to thank y'all for watching this episode. And as always stay safe, stay blessed, stay hydrated, and also all above, just be blessed. This is the Round Table Talk. I am your host, C Money. I thank you for watching this episode. Take care, and I will see you in the next episode on the Round Table Talk. Take care.